Welcome back, adventurers, to another episode of Let's Play Blackwell Unbound. And in the previous episode, Lauren and Joey headed over to the Johnny Ivory's Jazz and Cabaret Bar Club, where they discovered a lone patron playing solemnly at a piano, a man who mysteriously refers to himself as C, as in the C note. On piano, obviously. A little bit of a musical pun there. But of course, while Lauren was indulging herself with conversing with C, she and Joey didn't fail to notice that one of the many photos lining the walls of Johnny Ivory's just so happened to be one of the sax playing Ghost in general, albeit when he was alive and probably at the height of his career before falling on very hard times, if his current state of being is any indication of that. On a slightly different note, Lauren received a phone call from none other than her brother Jack, who has been still trying to get in contact with her, even though she's already taken on the business of being a sort of private investigator for ghosts. Not that she can actually explain that to Jack, although she did ring him back. However, the situation was more than a bit awkward, if I do say so myself. There is something we can do before we head on over to Jambalaya Records, and that is to listen to the Dictaphone.
This is a little recording device. It's called a Dictaphone. I've been using it to record my dreams.
Indeed, and those dreams could very well be important. So, we'll hear all of the recordings. Lauren will of course play them in consecutive order. So here is the first recording.
Testing. Hello? Does my voice really sound like that? Gotta cut back on the cigarettes. Anyway, I've been having some extreme dreams lately, but I don't remember any of them. I get the strangest feeling that they're important, but I can't put my finger on why. I'm keeping this recorder next to my pillow so I can record what I remember as soon as I wake up.
That last statement there is very important due to the fact for two reasons. First and foremost, since Lauren is of course a medium with the link to the spirit world, she has some very unique dreams that are not like ordinary average dreams, obviously. However, as soon as Lauren regains consciousness, the dreams will eventually start to fade, and the Dictaphone is pretty much the only link that Lauren has to recall her dreams.
First entry, February 21st? Is it? God, my head. I dreamed tonight. It's already fading away. I saw my mother. She was calling out to me and waving. She was smiling, and her face was bright. So bright.
First dream was that of Patricia Blackwell in happier times.
I see a child, 7 or 8 years old. She's surrounded by other children, but she's all alone. I call out to her, but she doesn't hear. Something is wrong. With me? With her? It's fading.
The second dream is, of course, a little bit more obscure than the first. A 7 or 8 year old girl who is not getting along with the other children. When Lauren tries to reach out to her, nothing happens. Let's play the next recording.
I see a man in tattered clothes. He looks at me and screams. I look in a mirror and see a huge horned demon. For some reason, I'm not surprised.
For those of you who are like me who have played the Blackwell Legacy, that third dream there is an interesting little reference. For those of you who have never seen or played the Blackwell Legacy, that third dream is what we would call as foreshadowing. and it won't be the last time there will be foreshadowing in Blackwell Unbound.
I'm on the Brooklyn Bridge staring at the seaport. I'm alone, strangely at peace. The water, it looks so cool and inviting. Suddenly I'm in the water, floating.
And of course, the fourth dream eloquently proves my point.
I dreamt I was in a strange room. The walls are a deep pink, and there are books and papers everywhere. Joey is behind me, trying to get my attention. I ignore him. I feel strangely good about it.
That would explain Lauren's little quip to Joey earlier about changing the wallpapers to pink. Interesting.
I see Jack and Maria. They're far away, but I know it's them. I see his glasses and her bright red hair. I want to join them. I run to catch up. I almost get there, but I trip and fall. Maria turns to help me up, but it's not Maria. She's got red hair like Maria, but it's someone else. She says she's sorry. Then I wake up.
A woman with Maria's red hair and Jack's familiar glasses. That, ladies and gentlemen, is Rosangela Blackwell in a nutshell.
I'm in a hospital room. There's a Chinese girl lying on the bed. I want to help her, but she doesn't want to be helped. Suddenly, I say a magic word, and her eyes widen with trust. I've made a friend, and yet I don't want her friendship. I run away.
Wonder what that magic word could possibly be, although the ending to that dream was somewhat strained.
I'm on a fire escape. I'm talking with a man who wants to be my friend. Suddenly his face turns blue. He can't breathe. He dies. It's my fault. I could have stopped it.
Now that dream was definitely ominous there, but we don't have a time context for that particular dream. Is it the past, the present, or the future? At this moment in time, we have no idea.
I'm in a huge house. I see gas lamps and electric lights. I look into a mirror and see an old woman. She reaches out of the mirror to grab me. I take her hand and hold it tight. Then I wake up.
An old woman in a large house with gas lamps and electric lights. Again, another curious dream than anything.
I'm on a train speeding away into the night. Next to me is a man. I know nothing about him, yet I trust him. I think I love him. Then he disappears. What did I do wrong?
Now that dream is probably the most obscure and also to mention the most peculiar. I cannot make either heads or tails of it.
I'm trapped somewhere bright. I see my mother and a woman I don't recognize. I see Joey far away, calling out for me. We're fighting for our lives, but it's too late. The world goes dark. I hate that dream.
Sounds to me like that wasn't the last time that you had that dream there, Lauren. It also sounds like a very foreboding dream to me. Lauren, Patricia, and a woman that clearly does not sound like Rosangela, with Joey calling out to them from places unknown. Also, that is the final dream recorded on Lauren's dictaphone, so time to put that away and turn to more immediate matters, which had the dictaphone selected there. Anyway, as I was saying, more immediate matters require our attention in the form of Jambalaya Records.
Come on, let's get out of here.
Right behind you.
So again, away we go. And Jambalaya is quite a way away from the apartment. That's why New York has taxi cabs. And it's open late. Dare I say 24 hours?
He looks pretty hard at work.
Only one man inside. Wonder if Lauren can actually speak to Joey outside without this man noticing.
I better wait till we're alone before talking to him.
No, good idea. Because Dwayne might not be able to hear Joey, but we're still in a public place. So should not interact with Joey for the time being. Of course, there is a chili pepper. For a moment there I thought it was a carrot, but it is in fact a chili pepper there. Interesting logo for a records company. We're not here to look at the door, we're actually here to go inside and talk about our saxophone ghost. Although we can't necessarily talk about him as a ghost now, can we?
Good evening.
Good evening to you. I'm Dwayne.
Lauren Blackwell. I was hoping you could help me.
I'll do my best. What can I do for you?
Well, at least Dwayne certainly seems polite. Let's ask him about his profession before we get down to business.
So what is this place?
This is a music agency. We manage bands, do promotions, things like that, you know. Well, by we, I really mean me.
You do this all by yourself?
Yep, one-man operation, that's me.
You might say that he's a one-man band.
What sort of music do you manage?
Mostly jazz and reggae, nobody famous. Most small-timers have trouble getting their foot in the door, getting gigs in small clubs, helping with recording sessions, you know. The basic stuff that musicians don't want to deal with.
Yeah. As unpleasant as the music industry can be, there are a lot of musical artists out there with that very attitude. Now let's of course state the obvious, which is...
You're open late.
Really? Yeah, I suppose I am. I learned to work musician hours, you know. You play a gig at night and have a problem, you want someone to call?
Your clients have lots of problems, do they?
Don't get me started.
Probably a good idea to take Dwayne's advice, otherwise we could literally be here all night about that. But Lauren understands full well the perks and of course the cons of working flexible hours, and I mean very flexible hours. But now it's time to talk about the ghostly saxophone player on the Roosevelt Island Promenade.
I'm looking for a sax player.
Well, I can definitely help you there. You looking for a stand-in or something more long-term?
Oh, no, sorry. I'm not with a band. I'm looking for a specific sax player.
Well, if he's a client of mine, I can help you. What's his name?
That's the problem. I don't know. But he's in a photograph that your company took.
Really? Can I see it?
I don't have it.
Then I don't know what to say.
Yeah. That wasn't going to be easy. Of course, we might be able to bring him over to Johnny Ivory's, but given the fact that he is the only manager working at this records company, it's probably going to be a bit of a long shot, but couldn't hurt for trying.
Hey, can you come with me to Johnny Ivory's? I'll show you that photograph I told you about.
I wish I could, you know. But I have a ton of work to do. Maybe another time?
Yeah, sure.
Well, it was a long shot, as I said.
Thanks for the help. I might be back later.
No problem.
But he is yet another link in our little case here. So, without further ado, let us return to Johnny Ivory's. There's C, still playing his grand piano there. Let's have another look at that photograph.
This one looks interesting.
Now, of course, we have two options. We could take this photograph all the way to Jambalaya Records, but there are a couple of drawbacks there. First of all, C would probably get very upset if Lauren tried to walk out of here with one of Johnny Ivory's famous not paintings, but photographs. Second of all, the frame itself is actually fairly large, and walking around town with a picture frame might draw some unwanted attention that Lauren Blackwell neither wants nor needs. But there might be another way to get this photograph over to Dwayne without actually taking this particular photograph. And it involves not the dictaphone, but another device. The trusty Polaroid camera. In other words, a photograph of a photograph. And of course, since this particular Polaroid camera develops film instantly, and very, very useful perk, especially for the 1970s, we now have our photograph instead of having to wait to develop the film. There we go. And, well, speaking of photographs, let's take one more for the road, shall we? As a little memento.
Say cheese.
And we have another photo. 2 down, 2 to go. Let's have a look at that photograph, shall we? There's Joey, looking stern and taciturn there. And there is C, playing on his piano while keeping his eyes firmly fixed on Lauren. Bonus number 4, artist commentary. Not going to be listening to that, but it's an interesting little feature there. And back to Jambalaya we go, although New York is rather quiet for the city that never sleeps. But we have our photograph. Maybe he might recognize our saxophone player. We show him this.
Do you know this band?
Oh yeah, I remember those guys. The C Sharps.
That was the band's name?
Yeah, I used to manage them.
You used to manage them, but not anymore?
Nah, been about 8, 10 years. Time flies, you know.
Isn't that the truth? I remember Joey saying a very similar thing. See if we can get some more information out of it.
Hi again.
Hi yourself. Again.
Very well said. Let's talk about the C-sharps.
What can you tell me about the C-sharps?
Oh, they were strictly lounge jazz, you know. But I saw them doing more. They really gelled, you know.
Gelled?
In tune with each other. And that lady had a voice like velvet.
What happened to them?
Don't know. They disappeared. Got them a few gigs and cut a record, and that was it. Guess they just moved on, or just broke up. It happens, you know.
Yeah, some bands definitely do fall apart, but we want the identity of the sax player in specifics.
What was the sax player's name?
Well, it was a long time ago. I'm not much on individual names. I just remember the band. I only deal with the leader, you know?
So who is the leader?
Sorry.
You don't remember that either?
It was a while ago, you know.
You don't even remember who the front man or possibly front woman for the C-sharps were. Oh well, we actually managed to get a quite a good lead there.
Thanks for the help. I might be back later.
No problem.
And I believe with that little tidbit of information, that is going to mark the end of this episode of Let's Play Blackwell Unbound. So when we return, adventurers, we're going to head back to Johnny Ivory's to try and get some information about the C-sharps from C. That is if C is in a fairly talkative mood. I wonder about that. But anyway, that's all the time we have for now, so as always, adventurers, until next we meet.